Hello and welcome to this episode of our podcast. It's a conversation on building better businesses in Jamaica. I'm your host Kiki, and of course, it gives me great pleasure being here. So last week we spoke about, being talking about standards and manufacturing as well as accreditation. And today we're going to be talking about opening your business and learning and understanding more about insolvency. Right? So it's going to be a very, very powerful episode. Again, what this initiative is we are doing a partnership and collaboration with the Ministry of Industry, Investments and Commerce alongside JAMPRO and the PIOJ, along with the SCGP, which is the Foundations for Competitiveness and Growth Project, all aimed at building better businesses together in Jamaica. That's the campaign. And so what we're doing for the next couple of weeks is facilitating conversations with industry leaders in various areas of building a business to help all of you watching and listening to understand how to better position your business for longevity, for success, and also for international marketability. So today I have been joined by two distinguished guests again. Thank you so much for being here. I would like to welcome Ms. Shellie Leon from the Companies Office of Jamaica, as well as Ms. Fayola Evan-Roberts, who is the Supervisor of Insolvency, and we will get into the discussion. Thank you so much for being here, ladies. So for starters, Ms. Leon, I'll start with you. Everybody knows if you want to start business, you have to go to Companies Office, right? So from registration to understanding the business structure, to understanding just a little bit more of if you want to open a foundation, like the list goes on. What is the main thing people need to understand about the Companies Office?
All right, so I would say in approaching the Companies Office of Jamaica, the thing that you need to decide is what level you want to start at. So do you want to start with a small business in which you simply have a trade name? Or do you want to get a limited company where you create a separate legal vehicle, which is a little bit more complicated? The difference really is going to be the startup cost and the maintenance. For the company, it segregates your personal liability from your business liability. For the business, there is unlimited liability. If you're doing anything that is high risk, you may want to gravitate to a company.
Oh, I got it. And I know it's not easy to register your business and, etc. But can you explain the process of being compliant? How has that been improved over the years?
So I am very pleased to say that you can register your business right from the comfort of your home.
Yes, you can.
So we have our website, www.orcjamaica.com, and you can go on that website, you can secure a name, and then you can proceed to registering your company or your business. We also have a lot of information on the website. So as to what is the difference between the company and the business, the benefits associated with registration, and apart from that, we have different social media pages that you can also go on to get information.
And what does a budding entrepreneur need to open a business in terms of documents?
All right, so in the case of a business name, it's one document, the BRF1 form, and that would be accompanied in most cases by the proof of your address, you the business owner, where you live, and you would also have your taxpayer registration number as well as a valid government-issued photo ID. If you are engaging in a professional venture, then you would also need certification from that particular professional body.
Right.
In the case of a limited company, it will be the BRF1 form, your articles, whether it's for a profit-making company or a non-profit-making company, and your beneficial ownership form. For company registration, the cost is $27,500. And for the business name registration, in most cases, it's $2,500.
Right, because there is a distinct difference.
That's correct.
All right, so before I speak with Mrs. Robertson, tell me common mistakes. Just a few common mistakes that you'd like our business owners to be aware of.
All right, so in case of common mistakes in going through the process, there are some persons who the name that they want to use, they submit names that are too general. So as a result of that, it may take them a while to secure a name. because the rule is that you can't have too many names sounding alike out there in the marketplace so that it will confuse the public. So think carefully about the name that you want to use. The other error that persons oftentimes would make in completing the application form, there is inconsistency. So say, for example, somebody doing a company. What you have on your articles, you have different information with what you have on the BRF form. The two must be consistent. Your identification, that must be valid. It cannot be something expired. And where you're producing proof of address, our standard is that whatever document you use, it must be no more than 6 months old.
All right, thank you so much. Mrs. Roberts, I wanted to find out from you. So we hear about the Office of Insolvency, and we're trying to figure out, okay, explain what does this mean for a business, and from the establishing component of a business, when business owners are thinking about a business, how can they position themselves to not experience becoming insolvent? Can you explain to us, please?
So the Office of the Supervisor of Insolvency, we have two major roles to play. We regulate the persons who are responsible for administering insolvency, just in case the company goes into insolvency, and these are licensed trustees. We also conduct assessments for persons to determine whether or not they are insolvent. Because the office, the services are available to persons who are insolvent. So the insolvent person is a person who owes a minimum of 300,000, resides in or own business or own property in Jamaica, and are unable to pay their debts or stop paying their debts. These are the persons who will need to access the services of the Supervisor of Insolvency. There's another person as well called the imminent insolvent. Still owe the 300,000, reside or do business or own property in Jamaica, but not yet insolvent. But they do reasonably anticipate that within 12 months, something might push them over into insolvency. These are the persons who need to really access the OSI.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And when it comes down to early intervention or recovery options or even common causes, can you speak to either of those things?
Jamaicans, we do have a tendency to wait too long.
Yeah.
We practice turn your hand, make fashion for a while,
Yeah.
or, try everything. And when everything else fails, you do something else. The persons take a little too long.
So it's advisable then for us, once we start experiencing any
hint,
difficulty,
at the hint
of any financial struggle, any
Yes.
financial, so we see the bills mounting, we
Yes.
see that the debt is increasing.
You miss 1 month payment.
We reach out to
Yes,
the
yes.
Supervisory Insolvency Office. And what do you offer us as support as business owners?
We will conduct assessments to determine the status. Are you insolvent or not?
Right.
And importantly, there is an informal proposal regime that we have developed where persons just require someone to sit between the debtor and the creditor.
Yeah.
We can make those negotiations on their behalf, just to say this person needs some support. This is what they need. The insolvency regime does have a proposal mechanism as well. So before those assets are dissipated, get in touch. We will identify a trustee, and the trustee will, in order to avoid bankruptcy, lead you through the proposal process. So we prefer reorganization, instead of bankruptcy. So the important thing at the first hint
At
of
the first
trouble.
hint.
Yes.
It's super important.
Give the Supervisor of Insolvency a call.
I love it. It sounds like financial help for your business. All right. And so I also want to ask you, Ms. Leon, and this is a very common question that I hear going around a lot. When a business wants to just register, someone wants to register the name of their business. The business operating yet. They just want to secure the name. But then the tax office calls them to say, hey, your business, you have a business, you need to pay tax. How can you just help persons understand how they can just secure the name of the business and clearly declare that the business is not operating?
So in the case of a company, that is quite easy because we do have provision under the Companies Act that you can reserve a name. So you can reserve a name for up to 90 days, and when that 90 days expires, then you can go ahead and renew that reservation. So if you're not yet ready to operate, then the advice would be go ahead and reserve your name, and then when you're finally ready to operate, then you proceed to registration.
So every 90 days, just keep renewing.
You would
the name.
renew.
Got it.
At this point in time, we don't have any limits on the number of times that you can renew.
And I'm going to ask you, Ms. Leon, of course, to just share with our business owners who are listening and watching one piece of advice that you would want to leave them with.
Well, I would just want persons to know how extremely important it is to register your business and to go the whole route of formalization. You're speaking about generational wealth. You're talking about sustainability. You're talking about protecting your ideas, accessing loan, accessing grants, and it serves as legal proof of what your stake is in a business. So do not think about registration or formalization in terms of this is going to impose a burden, because the benefits that you gain, it is significantly more.
And you support us. So once I get to the Companies Office or go on your website, there's support there for me.
There is definitely support there. We have a lot of information there, and we're building in systems that can especially assist small businesses.
Okay, thank you so much. And Mrs. Roberts, same question for you. Yes, what's the key takeaway that you want? Or because I know you just said from the first inclination of any financial struggle, but also, and you say you have the support system in place. So is there anything else you want to leave the listeners with?
A business has a lifestyle, just a life cycle, just like an individual. You're born, and sometimes things happen. Life happens.
Yeah.
You get ill.
Yeah.
That's what insolvency is. So instead of waiting until
Yes, the flat line.
exactly,
Until the flat line,
exactly.
get some help.
Yes, yes. Make that step early in order to prevent insolvency. You can prevent insolvency, you can prevent bankruptcy, but make that step
And what's
very
your
early.
website?
As a department on the MIC, we are located on the MIC website. So go to the MIC website and you will certainly find the OSI. You can also contact us directly at info.osi@mic.gov.jm.
Got it. And same question for you, Ms. Leon.
All right, so for the Companies Office of Jamaica, it's www.orcjamaica.com. We also have resource hubs such as www.bohubjamaica.com.
Thank you so much. All right, thank you so much, ladies. I just want to say thank you so much to Ms. Shellie Leon, representing the Companies Office of Jamaica, as well as Ms. Fayola Evan-Roberts from the Office of the Supervisor of Insolvency. So again, we learned very much today about how to register a company. We learned about the essential documents that are required, the support systems that are put in place. And my major takeaway is do not wait at the first sign of anything with the life cycle.
Yes.
For the business, get help. Thank you so much, ladies. And that
Thank
is
you.
it for this episode of A Conversation on Building a Better Business right here for Jamaica. Thank you so much for watching. Join us again for the next episode.